Famous celebrities who passed away in 1798. Before we proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Jeremy Belknap. He was born in June 1744 and he died in June 1798. His age was 54 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was an American historian and clergyman, known for founding the Massachusetts Historical Society and writing a comprehensive history of New Hampshire. John Louis Chery. He was born in 1741 and he died in 1798. His age was 57 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was an American politician, instrumental in founding Columbia, South Carolina, and served in the Continental Congress during the American Revolution. Justin Morgan. He was born in February 1747 and he died in March 1798. His age was 51 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was an American horse breeder and composer, known for founding the Morgan horse breed, one of the earliest American horse breeds, celebrated for their versatility and strength. James Wilson. He was born in September 1742 and he died in August 1798. His age was 55 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was stroke. He was the founding father of the United States, a key contributor in the United States Constitution, and one of the first justices appointed to the Supreme Court. Benjamin Franklin Bake. He was born in August 1769 and he died in September 1798. His age was 29 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was yellow fever. He was the grandson of Benjamin Franklin and was an American journalist who founded the newspaper Aurora and was a vocal critic of the Federalist Party. George Reed. He was born in September 1733 and he died in September 1798. His age was 65 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart disease. He was an American founding father who signed both the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution, and served as a United States Senator from Delaware. George Vancouver. He was born in June 1757 and he died in May 1798. His age was 40 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was kidney failure. He was a British naval officer and explorer, known for his extensive mapping of the Pacific Northwest, including present-day Vancouver Island and the city of Vancouver, both named after him. William Byron. He was born in November 1722 and he died in May 1798. His age was 75 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a British nobleman, peer, politician, and great-uncle of the poet George Gordon Byron, who succeeded him in the title as a result of a number of stories that arose after a duel, and then because of his financial difficulties, he became known after his death as the Wicked Lord and the Devil Byron. Thomas Sandby. He was born in 1721 and he died in June 1798. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a British architect and artist, recognized as one of the founding members of the Royal Academy, and for his contributions to topographical landscape art. Louis-Jules Mazarini. He was born in December 1716 and he died in February 1798. His age was 81 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a French nobleman, diplomat, and writer, known for his memoirs and as a patron of literature and the arts during the Enlightenment. Michel Yim Maro. He was born in September 1755 and he died in March 1798. His age was 42 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a French general who served in India and played a crucial role in modernizing the military forces of the Nazim of Hyderabad. William Janim. He was born in 1701 and he died in 1798. His age was 97 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a British landowner known as the richest commoner in England, whose immense fortune became the subject of one of the longest legal disputes in British history. Adrian Duport. He was born in February 1759 and he died in July 1798. His age was 39 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was tuberculosis. He was a French politician and lawyer. He was an influential advocate in the parliament and was prominent in opposition to the ministers Calonin and Lemine de Byron. François-Paul Bouville de Gallier. He was born in February 1753 and he died in August 1798. His age was 45 at the time of his death, and he was killed in battle. He was a French admiral who commanded the French fleet at the Battle of the Nile, where he was killed during the decisive British victory led by Nelson. Luc Julian Joseph Casablanca. He was born in February 1762 and he died in August 1798. His age was 36 at the time of his death, and he was killed in battle. He was a French naval officer who perished aboard L'Orient at the Battle of Nile, becoming a symbol of French heroism. Arist Depute. He was born in August 1760 and he died in August 1798. His age was 37 at the time of his death, and he was killed in battle. He was a French naval officer who distinguished himself at the Battle of Nile, where he continued fighting valiantly even after being mortally wounded. Louis-Joseph Watteau. He was born in April 1731 and he died in August 1798. His age was 67 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a French painter known for his depictions of rural and urban scenes that highlighted the everyday life of the French people during the 18th century. Jean-Guillaume Beauregard. He was born in February 1750 and he died in August 1798. His age was 49 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a French zoologist and naturalist who made significant contributions to the taxonomy of mollusks, working extensively on classifying marine organisms. Anne-Pierre Marquis de Montesquieu Fizensac. He was born in October 1739 and he died in December 1798. His age was 59 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a French general and writer. Due to his literary talent, he became a member of the Académie Française in 1784. He was elected to the States General in 1789. He assumed command of the Army of the Midi in 1792 and successfully invaded Savoy in September. Christian Canic. He was born in December 1731 and he died in January 1798. His age was 66 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a German violinist, composer, and Kapellmeister of the classical era, a composer of some 200 works. He continued the legacy of Johann Stamitz and helped turn the Mannheim Orchestra into what Charles Burney described as the most complete and best disciplined in Europe. Carl Wilhelm Ramler. He was born in February 1725 and he died in April 1798. His age was 73 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a German poet and literary critic who played a prominent role in the Enlightenment, shaping German literature with his works and critical essays. Nicolas Pv Von Neuhaus. He was born in October 1723 and he died in April 1798. His age was 74 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was an Austrian entomologist, known for his work in classifying insects and contributing to the development of taxonomy in entomological studies. Asmus Jacob Coston. He was born in May 1754 and he died in May 1798. His age was 44 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a Danish-German painter whose neoclassical style influenced the Romantic movement, known for his mythological and historical paintings. Frederick Flashman. He was born in July 1766 and he died in November 1798. His age was 32 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a German composer known for his early operas and chamber music, contributing to the musical transition from the classical to the Romantic period. Elias Hardy. He was born in 1744 and he died in December 1798. His age was 54 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was an English lawyer who defended loyalist interests in the colonial America during the Revolutionary War, later moving to Canada to continue his legal career. Joseestan Martinez. He was born in 1742 and he died in 1798. His age was 56 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a Spanish naval officer and explorer who led expeditions to the Pacific Northwest, playing a role in Spanish claims to the region. Peter Frederick S. He was born in October 1728 and he died in September 1798. His age was 69 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a Danish historian and writer, known for his comprehensive historical works on Denmark and contributions to the understanding of Danish history. Thomas de Malaville. He was born in 1739 and he died in October 1798. His age was 59 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a Danish military officer and colonial administrator in the Danish West Indies. He was present at the Johann Friedrich Struensee's arrest in January 1772. He served as governor of St. Thomas and St. John from 1773 to 1795, and then as the Governor-General of the Danish West Indies from 1796 until his death. Johann Zoiga. He was born in October 1742 and he died in December 1798. His age was 56 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a Danish entomologist and botanist. he contributed to a work by Linnaeus, who named the plant genus Zoyga after him. For some years, he helped Georg Christian Eder as his assistant at the University of Copenhagen Botanical Garden. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.